Hiya, folks. How are you? Greetings. Great to have you here. It's Rush Limbaugh and 3 straight hours of broadcast excellence, hosted by me. And you can count on the fact that whatever your expectations are, we will meet them. And more than likely, we will exceed them. Because that is the objective each and every busy broadcast day. The telephone number, if you want to be on the program, 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbaugh@eibnet.com. Okay, there is panic inside the Beltway. There is panic over the Cromnibus bill, the omnibus spending bill, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that the Republican leadership pretty much gave Obama and the Democrats everything they want, except for one thing. They are making some tweaks, and I'm going to get into this in greater detail, just setting the table now. They made some tweaks in the Cromnibus bill to the Dodd-Frank financial reform bill, and Elizabeth Warren is fit to be tied, and she's livid. Now, she's in the Senate, and she's out there saying that the Republicans in the House want to shut down the government over their tweaks to the Dodd-Frank bill. No, it's Elizabeth Warren that will shut down the government if she objects to this. But see, this is how it works, and this is why we all have bent over backwards to tell the Republicans, will you stop worrying about what's going to be said about you? Because even if you gave the Democrats everything they want, and if you give Obama everything he wants, and in the last minute they pull a whammy on you and say, you know what, we don't like this thing, and then just accuse you of shutting down the government when they are doing it, doesn't matter. Elizabeth Warren could succeed in shutting down the government, and the Republicans are going to get blamed for it. It's written in the commandments of media. And it doesn't matter what the truth is. If there is a government shutdown, the Republicans are going to get blamed for it. It's the same old thing. Whatever happens, no matter on anything, the Republicans are going to get blamed. The argument's always been, just do the right thing. You've got an electorate behind you in massive numbers. The latest poll on Obamacare, there is a record high, as expressed in polling data, opposed to Obamacare, 58%. It is an all-time high. Now, there have been some outlier polls that have shown 60%, 62%, but this is what they call a drive-by mainstream poll. 58% opposed to Obamacare, and the same kind of numbers opposed to amnesty. And yet the Republicans still sit there and maintain, we can't do the government shutdown, we're going to blame for it and so forth. It's just, again, when it comes to amnesty, the Republicans want it. The Chamber of Commerce wants it, and we know that. But it's fascinating to watch Elizabeth Warren. And, of course, in doing this, Elizabeth Warren is going out and launching a full-fledged attack on capitalism, which is really going to help her if she does decide to seek a Democrat presidential nomination. And I mentioned a poll on Hillary Clinton yesterday that I'd never seen a poll like this, that showed her in the 70 or 80% approval range. And these polls always surprise me. I've never bought into this idea that Hillary is unbeatable, and I've never bought into the idea that Hillary is preordained to be president. I've never bought into the idea that it's hers for the asking or taking. I've never bought into the idea that it's senseless to oppose her because if she wants it and if she runs, she'll win. And we have evidence on my side. She did run in 2008, and she lost, despite our best efforts to help her here with Operation Chaos. Anyway, it turns out we had some in-depth analysis of that poll, and it's totally flawed. And, the poll showing Hillary is 70, 80, whatever percent approval, it doesn't jive with real-world experience. She can't sell a book, folks. Nobody bought that book. And when she makes appearances to make speeches, half the room is empty. Now, I know a little bit about drawing a crowd. I know a little bit about connecting with an audience, and I know that she doesn't have an audience connection. Yeah, I mean, even maybe with a few Democrats, but in terms of the kind of connection, a deep connection with an audience, voters, whatever you want to call it, she just doesn't have it. I don't think she ever has had, to tell you the truth. I think it's been one of the greatest myths that has been pulled over on a country, a society, by the media. So far harmless, well, other than for those in Benghazi. But I really think Hillary Clinton is mostly hype, but it doesn't mitigate the fact that she's there and she's been in positions of power. But it does provide some confidence. There's no reason to be afraid of her. Anyway, we'll get into details on that poll as the program unfolds. And then we got this from A.B. Stoddard at thehill.com. Democrats sick of Obamacare. You have Kathleen Sebelius running around saying, well, there is a problem with Obamacare. It's the name. It's a branding problem, she says. But, folks, the Democrats are running away from Obamacare in droves. First up was Chuck Schumer wanting no part of it anymore. And then Tom Dung-Heap Harkin in Iowa saying he wanted no part of it anymore. And saying it shouldn't have been voted on. They should have done it last or shouldn't have done it first. They should have done other things first, like focus on jobs and the economy. And A.B. Stoddard's piece here with a couple of pull quotes. 4 years ago, the Affordable Care Act was passed by only Democrats. The law has contributed to giving Republicans their strongest hold on Congress in more than half a century, 50 years for those of you in Rio Linda. And another pull quote, now Democrats hope that a better website, more enrollees, some bipartisan fixes, and a second affirmative Supreme Court decision can save the law before Hillary Clinton or another Democrat nominee has to finesse a position on it 2 years from now. If not, these 4 years are just the first in what could be decades before the Democrat Party is cured of its health care ills. Her whole point here is how Obamacare has destroyed the Democrat Party. Now, you may not see that written in such terms because the media, of course, is not going to do that. But it is one of these things that has to be true. The Democrat Party is in total trouble. They're being shellacked in elections left and right. The 2012 presidential race argues against that. Obama was reelected. I understand that presidential turnout being what it is. But the last two midterms that we've had, you can't deny, the Democrats have gotten creamed. The Democrat senators that voted for Obamacare are gone. It has been devastating. They are on the ropes. They have done great damage to their party. Obama has succeeded in doing great damage, which we forecast, by the way, while pointing out that Obama didn't care about whatever damage might occur to the Democrat Party. But here's how A.B. Stoddard opens her piece. Watching Jonathan Gruber testify before the House Government Reform and Oversight Committee on Tuesday was likely too much for most Democrats to take, as he characterized his remarks describing Congress as tricking Americans into approving a new tax as thoughtless, as well as mean, glib, uncalled for, and embarrassing. It's the very definition of the door hitting him on the way out. 4 years after the Affordable Care Act was passed by only Democrats, the law has contributed to giving Republicans their strongest hold on Congress in more than 50 years. Harry Truman, to be precise. And what's even more frightening than the law's unpopularity is the prospect of Obamacare being dismantled by a coming Supreme Court review. The cumulative damage of the Democrat Party and what is suffered, as well as the casualty rate, has brought its leaders to unhappy inflection and reflection point. 2 years ago, Obama reelected to the surprise and delighted Democrats who believed not only would his unique coalition provide him with cover, but a permanent ongoing majority. And now look at what has happened. I only bring this up because I'm trying to reinforce for everybody what a strong position the Republicans have and how for some reason they simply refuse to accept that, to understand it, to know it with confidence, and to act on it. They simply don't know how to act as winners for some reason. That's understandable if you've never been a winner in your mind, and all but one day you are. It's hard to do a 180, but it's not that they're just recent winners. They've been winning a lot of elections. So it's curious, and we will delve further into it as the program unfolds.